I'm Kevin Coleman with the Saddle Post, and I am at Millennium Grove with Chillicothe Park Director Bill Bonner, and doing some activity here, some maintenance, upgrading.
Yes.
So why don't you introduce Millennium Park itself?
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. Well, right now we're lucky to have volunteers from our tree commission out here doing work, which they do quite often. Right now, they're replacing some of the wooden posts that have been here for over 20 years that help put up the signs that identify the trees for Millennium Grove. And so you see a brand new post is in there, and we'll get this sign back on there. But Millennium Grove is really a great, for some reason, a great kept secret here. It's an amazing place. There's 100 historic trees from many different places. Right there, the willow, as I just said, came from Napoleon's grave site, right over there, and then it went to Andrew Johnson's plantation. So very historic. The story of the Millennium Grove, at the start of the millennium, the Clinton administration, through an executive order by then President Bill Clinton, started the project for Millennium Groves. Hillary Clinton, obviously his wife, was the director of the project. Each state was to receive 100 historic trees. 2 of these trees have circled the moon and come back. But Ohio was originally going to have 5 groves, obviously 20 trees apiece. Well, through some hard work and through some dedication, Chillicothe proved to be the best place, mainly because of the great tree commission that we have. We were a Tree City, USA already at the time, so we received all 100 historic trees. And so we were the only city in the state that received all 100 trees. We're the only city in the nation to receive all 100 trees. As of about 3 or 4 years ago, there were only 4 or 5 of the original groves still in existence, and none of them had all 100 trees. So this is a very special, very unique place. As you can see, since these trees have been planted here, originally they were planted at the tree nursery up at in Western View Park, but in '02 they were moved down here, seedlings about 2 feet high, and of course the 23 years since then have grown a great deal and really starting to take shape, and it just looks great. And there's just such great history with, you know, all of these trees.
Now these are seedlings or clones of historic trees?
Most of them are seedlings or clones of historic trees. Some are representative trees. This would be a situation where a tree that meant a lot to someone that it was not actually a seedling from their property, but just a tree that meant something to them, a good deal to them.
And I think there was some sycamore seeds that orbited the moon.
There are 2 sycamore trees here that orbited the moon, yes, and they're planted and doing very well. That was part of a program that Stuart Rosa was the astronaut that was involved with that. He had worked with the Forest Service before, had been a smoke jumper, and very interested in that. And he took the seeds in a special pack. Interesting enough, there was a companion seed for all the seeds that went into space, left on Earth. So they planted both. After 50 years, there's no discernible difference between the seeds that circled the moon and the ones that stayed here on Earth. So seeds could go to the moon and back, and it wasn't bothering them.
So each tree has its identification.
Each tree has its identification. We do have a more detailed explanation for some of the trees. You have one dealing with the willow tree there, and some of those are online, some of those are just hard copy. But over time, we'll have a short 2-page story or so about each tree available for the public to look at and you know, get some information.
And there's limited parking here, but this is off.
There is limited parking, but there is more ample parking at the beginning of the entrance.
If you don't mind walking a little further.
Okay.
I mean, if you come in and park and you don't mind walking.
Right, if you come in parking and you don't mind walking. And, well, you know, in 2017, we applied for and was fortunate enough to get a grant. So we have a nice, about half-mile walking trail that takes you close to all the trees that you can walk, and you won't have to, you know, get too far off the trail, so you can read a brief summary about each tree. We've also built a beautiful shelter right there, handicap accessible, of course, and named in honor of Whitey Coates, who was very instrumental in helping Chillicothe to get this grove, get all 100 historic trees.
And is there some chat about paving these paths so they're handicapped?
No, they'll stay just a walking type gravel path here.
Okay.
Yeah, so we maintain, you know, we till them up every year, make sure that you know, we fight the growth with the weeds every year, but once or twice we till them to keep it so everyone can walk along these paths.
And we're in back behind North Plaza Boulevard, and I see you've got one of the wayfinding signs to direct people in.
We have, there are, it's not the easiest place to find, I certainly admit that. Bridge Street, as we know, is kind of a bottleneck and some trouble with traffic, but
not something, not a place where you would expect to find a park like this.
Not a place where you would expect to find a park like this at all. So it's a beautiful 10-acre park, as you can see right now. A beautiful day. You know, we're really, really fortunate to have this park and for it to be part of our community. And I just like I say, I keep waiting for people to find out about this and for it to really expand and become a more popular destination than what it is.
And you said there is some information online?
There's some information online, such as the breakdown we have here about the willow tree that came from Napoleon's gravesite. So there is more information about all a dozen or so trees online, and over time we'll have information on all 100 of them, more extensive information.
Is there any kind of a brochure or self-guided tour that you can take?
Not at this time. There's not one of those. We will get a kiosk up here and we will update that periodically with different information about each tree.
But with further grants and the increase of tourism, you might be inspired to do a little more.
Yeah, right. We definitely, with the, you know, we've got the grants and we have already spent the money and have things in place. We just really like to get a little increase in interest in tourism, and for our own citizens, not necessarily to bring in tourists, which I think over time it will, but just something for the people of this community to enjoy and be able to take pride in, because it really is, I mean, a very special place.
So maybe once you get your shopping done, you can take a break and come out here.
Definitely.
As long as your ice cream doesn't melt.
Right. Look at a tree that came from Napoleon's. We got you know, of course, they're from Harry Truman's property, and just, you know, the great stories about all these trees. And
you did mention the tree commission. We have a pretty strong and
our tree commission is second to none. It's the greatest group that you're ever going to find. Their expertise and their dedication goes far beyond what anyone would expect. They do a great job. Everyone knows, you know, Chillicothe, Mayor Feeney has been great on getting grants, and the tree commission has fallen right in line. As we're spending $35 million, the city, on different projects throughout the park, we, at the same time, or just a little bit before we received the $35,000, we received a $300,000 grant specifically for the tree commission. So we're going to be planting trees and pruning trees and doing a great deal. I think recently someone saw, and this was not grant related, the about 80 trees that we planted along the
The flood wall.
Right through there. And that's not on the flood wall. You can't plant trees on the flood wall.
Yeah.
That's actually the old railroad bed, and people kind of just refer to it as the flood wall.
I asked the tree commission how they got around the Army Corps of Engineers rules.
You cannot get around the Army Corps of Engineers rules, that's for sure.
But they told me they measured it and said, this is outside of your scope. You can't say no to us.
Right. We certainly weren't trying to thumb our nose at the Army Corps of Engineers. We worked with them very well. They were more than happy to say, yes, you're outside, that's fine to do that project. Yeah. They've never went out of their way to give us a hard time. They support us all they can, but they certainly have their regulations that they enforce.
Their job is to protect the city from flooding and protect the flood wall.
Right.
So how can people learn about the tree commission?
Well, we have meetings the third Wednesday of every week, usually either 4 or 5 o'clock. Down when it's the nice weather, we have it down at the Rotary Shelter in Chillicothe Park, and then when it gets more inclement weather, we have it at the administration building on Paint Street. And they're certainly welcome to the public. The volunteers are welcome to come and join in with any project that we might be working on. So yeah, that's a good way to learn more about the Tree Commission. Of course, we are, have been for nearly 30 years now, a Tree City USA. So they're doing this an outstanding job. And
the commission has received some awards and commendations?
Yes, they are the only tree commission in North America to receive the Harry A. Banker Golden Leaf Award. This very prestigious award. We received that about 5 or 6 years ago at a nice ceremony down in Cincinnati. As I said, the only tree commission in North America that received that award. Plus we received other local awards, the Pineapple Award and various awards, because they're constantly doing just outstanding things.
And you mentioned that Chillicothe Park with is it 3.7 or $370,000?
There was a $35 million grant, $35 million grant for in and around Chillicothe Park. Not totally for Chillicothe Park, but the amphitheater and the pavilion, the armory, some streetscaping. So it is outstanding. Then plus the Tree Commission right now has a $300,000 grant that they're working with for planting trees, maintaining trees. It's really going good for us.
Well, as a gardener and the son of a horticulturist, I can appreciate that.
But definitely. Well, Kevin, you should maybe come in and join in with some hands-on work on some of our projects. I think you'll really enjoy it, and even kind of an old dummy like me, you can learn a lot just from being around these guys and listening to them. Because I said their expertise on the trees is outstanding.
I think you also have a Arbor Day event.
We have an outstanding Arbor Day event every year on, on Arbor Day, and we have it's the third grade students from Chillicothe City School, I believe maybe fourth grade, but all of the students from one of the classes from Chillicothe City Schools come down, and we plant some trees. Educational classes are given to the students, and it's really a great event. The Arbor Day is a great event. It's really close to Earth Day also.
Okay, so about how many acres of parks, how many parks do you manage?
We manage, this is 10 acres, and we actually have 800 acres that we mow. Not all of that is parkland. Part of that, of course, is the bike path, which is over 5 miles. The walking bike path. And Chillicothe is, with the annex and Chillicothe, that is 84 acres. Then we have our 6 neighborhood parks, which average about 2 to 3 acres per park. So you're looking at another 20 acres when you throw all those in there.
Okay.
Poland is the biggest of them with 3.1 acres.
All right, so you got your hands full keeping the city green.
We do, and we have our hands full, but we love it, and we're very, we feel fortunate to have the opportunity to do it, and we just stick with it all we can.
Plus, you also, with the tree commission, you oversee any trees in the public right-of-way.
In the right-of-way, yes, we do that. The tree commission, they do, once again, a great job. They will go out and inspect the tree and write a permit for pruning or removal. Or just give tips on how to make it healthier and better.
And those are trees that are within the setback from the street or along alleys?
Right, along the right-of-way, yes. In every city has a different, or not city, every street has a different width of the right-of-way. So, first of all, we have to kind of do a little bit of an inspection to see if it actually is on the right-of-way or not. Some that you think are not. Some that you think, well, they're not on the right-of-way, but it is on the right-of-way. But usually it's pretty cut and dry. If there's a sidewalk, the area between the sidewalk and the street, that is usually the right-of-way.
The tree lawn?
Yeah, the tree lawn is usually the city right-of-way.
Or sometimes known as the devil strip.
Well, I've never known it for that, but...
because it's can be pretty treacherous. Who takes care of it?
Right. Well, I grew up on Hickory. And Hickory Street has a real nice tree lawn, and I think back in those days, everyone kind of appreciated it.
All right. So how can people learn more about your department?
Of course, everyone, you can go online and learn about it. If you ever have any questions, then feel free to call the office, and we'll take care of them. And plus, we meet, the Parks and Recreation Board meets every Wednesday, third Wednesday of the month at 5 o'clock. Same scenario for the meetings. Nice weather down Rotary. It's not so nice out at the 35 South Paint. All meetings are open to the public. We encourage people to come. We appreciate their feedback and ideas. So, yeah, anytime anyone wants to come to those meetings, please feel free.
All right. Bill Bonner, head of Chillicothe Parks and Recreation. It's been a while since I covered you on City Council.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you remembering that.
All right. Well, some good work going on here.
Yeah, great. You really good work, and we're going to keep improving this place every chance we get.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.